Hello, it's Maureen here, Stitchy Mac, and we have made it to the end of January. It's been a fun-filled month, you know, packed out stuff, or maybe just a lot of dog walking and a lot of sitting watching telly. But upside to lockdown at the moment, it's plenty of stitching time because there's really not much else to do. So where do I start? Right, I'm going to start with the first thing that comes to hand, which is, oh, I'm taking the wrong bit, which is my Caroline Manning. This is Carnival. Sorry. And this is Carnival. As you'll see, I was using a Sharpie to colour in on that side. So it's come right through. And it's Carnival, it's a quilt, cross stitch quilt block. And those colours are pants. It does not look anything like that. It's much nicer. So yeah, so I was working on this as part of, it was Whip Go, my Whip Go was called this month. So I had decided I would do 1,000 stitches. My goal for the year was to be 1,000 stitches. And I completed that on the weekend. The Jasmine is doing Whip Go weekends, so I actually completed that on that weekend. I was really pleased. Which brought me to I filled in, I basically kind of did this side here, those 3 orange and the 3 blue kind of squares, that side of things. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. It's kind of one of those things, I'm just kind of picking a colour, doing bits of it, and that is essentially, I think that's like 1 page. I think that's as far over as 1 page goes. And obviously it comes over to, I think it's just 2 pages wide. Yeah, I think that's just 1 page, so it's not a huge piece. But this is 28 count too. This is 28 count, but I'm doing it 2/1. And what I hadn't realised at the time when I got it was these squares aren't 10. They're 9. 9 across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, they're 9 across. That took me a while to get my head. I was like, okay, I need to have done this on easy count. This would have been easier to do on just plain white, because it's confusing, because you're like, in your brain it should be a square, but it's not. So I'm doing it 2/2 actually. And yeah, I don't know why I picked easy count this. I think I realised after it started, I was like, okay, this is not, that didn't really work. Okay, so that was the first piece of the Whip Go. The second piece that got called out was my Ripples Biscornu. So that's where I've done now. And this is one side of it. And my goal at the time, I had done one corner and I had started the next. So the goal was to do the second corner, which I did. But then my goal for the weekend was to finish the second corner. The goal for the whole year is to finish one side. And so I'm actually just keeping this out. I did a little bit more on it the other day. And what I think I'll just do is I'll just keep this as my small. I'll just work on this. I might even start the next side until another one gets called on Whip Go. Because this month it's 2. The 2 that have been called are both full coverage pieces for me. So when up until the next small gets called, I'll just work on this. Because it's on my Q-snap and it's handy. It's handy just to pick up if I'm just wanting a quick little piece to work on. And that's just stitching some random white fabric. And these are pinks. Oh, they're just random pinks. From a stash. Just kind of hand-dyed ones that I'm just using up. So that's those 2. Oh, sorry. And then the next piece I'm going to show you is this is my focus piece for the year. I'm going to finish this year. So this is my Heaven and Earth Mini Captive by Martyr Dalig. Stitch 32 on, oops, I just rolled the needle. 32 count 1/1 on some random beige fabric. So, sorry, it's in the case up. So as you will see, I've completed the bottom and I'm now working my way up. So this month, so my aim for this is, I worked it out, is if I do a minimum of 2,500 stitches a month, I'll have it finished by November. And so far this month I've actually done, I think, about 3,000, so I'm ahead of myself. So I'm going to try and just keep ahead of myself. So if there's months where, you know, I don't get much done, that's fine. So I basically, yeah, I think that's kind of all of this. So I mean, this is really, as you'll see from it, this is like really confetti heavy, and then we've got big blocks of black, confetti, black, red, black. So I'm just working my way through there. So yes, I'm gonna get to our head soon. So I think it's only got up to about there or something like that. It's not a huge amount more. But yeah, I've kind of been doing this this month. I've done like 1,000 stitches and then worked on something else, and then done another 1,000 stitches and then worked on something else, and that's kind of working out quite good. So, but I've still got another, what date are we on, the 29th? 27, 28, 29, 30, over on 30th. So I'll work on this over the weekend because I don't want to do anything else from January. I've got plans for February and I'm not starting until Monday. So I'll just work a bit more on this, and that will take a bit of my February stitching up. So that's that. I'm really loving, the thing is, I'm really loving this. It's really, I'm glad I'm still doing that. The next piece I did was for my Full Coverage Fanatic Bookshelf Challenge, which was, is it Classics? It's really bad, I can't remember what it was, but it was to do with classic books. And then the themes where you could have like fancy ladies roaring, it was like romance kind of roaring 20s and stuff like that. So obviously I chose to have a new start, and I chose Evergreen. Now this is Tracy Butler's Evergreen, and then this is the full size, because what I realized was I bought this at a retreat. I bought the actual hard copy, and I was like, that's great. And then when I was going to do it, I was like, oh, no, I need to get this on Pattern Keeper. This is just not going to, I need to make my life easy. So I bought it on Pattern Keeper, and that was fine. And then I did all the calculations of bottle floss and everything like that. And then I'm looking at it going, 350 by 6, that's not right. And then I realised, so my fabric is not going to fit for that. And then I realised I'd bought the mini on the Pattern Keeper rather than the full size one. But in actual fact, I'm quite pleased because I love all the minis. I know a lot of people are like, some people are like, oh, so you lose some of the details. But quite frankly, I would sacrifice a little bit of detail for the actual chance of finishing something. I mean, I've got 1,000,001 different projects. I'm not always going to get stuff finished, but that's not a big deal for me. But I would still like there to be some hope of getting it finished. If you're just working on something, you think, even if I worked on this one thing for 10 years, that's it. I can only work on one thing. Yeah, sorry. I'm a bit, this is all over the shop today. Yeah, I would rather sacrifice a little bit of detail and have a mini. So that's that. Anyway, that's what I did on her. The stitch on, I decided to actually, normally I do 2/1, but I decided to do 2/1 10th stitch. But I just decided to do 1/1 full cross today. I don't know why, I just thought it seemed quite delicate and I like the colours. So I did over kind of 1,000 stitches. That was my plan for that. And I don't think this comes out. I'm not sure if this comes out again. I can't remember if I've put this on my whip coal. But like I say, it's not like it's just to have. It's pretty. And I like it. And the other focus piece I'm working on is my big chatelaine. My love-hate relationship with this thing. And so I worked it out. I've got the borders to do. It's essentially 3 parts with the borders to do, and if I do a little bit each month, I'll finish the stitching this year, and then I'll do this beading next year. So I'll just show. Okay, so that's, you can see the whole thing there. Sorry, I have had it out recently, but it's in the Q-snaps. So this month I worked on this building here. So Let me see if I can show you. So that's it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so that's where it starts. Yeah. So I'm working on this bit here. So that was before. And that's the after. So I added this big bit here. And these two little, what are they called? She does say on it. They're not like tuddets, they're, I don't know, the onion domes kind of thing, I think is what. So yeah, those 3 bits there. So I will then go, rather than me, I'm not going to do all 4 of these at once. I'm just going to work along. So as you'll see, sorry, here we are. So I'll be working on, oh my god, sorry, this is all over the shop. That's the best I can show you. That bit there, the border there. So I'll work on the border. So it's like that green bit there, one of those, and then it comes down diagonal and then goes across. So that's 1, 2, 3. So next month I'll work on that bit across there. And I love it, but I really don't think I don't think I'll ever do another chatelaine. I think it's, especially the mandalas, the whole working, I think I've said this before, the whole working on 4 sides, it's like, and all these buildings, and it's the same colour strand. It's like, I'm going to finish this. I love it. I'm going to finish it, but that's how I'm like, I've broken it down into months because that's enough. I can cope with that. Because and it's going to cost me an absolute fortune, but I'll never want to look at it again actually to get it framed. Yeah, so the only other things I've been doing is I decided I wanted to knit some socks. So as I had time off over Christmas and that, it was quite good, and like I've had a wee bit of time off this week, because I know I needed a little bit of concentration rather than me just being able to pick things up just to start off. I haven't knitted in a long time. I know how to like knit and purl and that, things like that, but never done this. So, oh god, that's where I get all confused. Right, so I have managed to complete so far. So that's the cuff, obviously. That's the first bit. And I'm currently on the, I think this is a heel flap, I think that's that bit. So I think I've got another inch to do on there. And then I have to start doing something else. Then it gets complicated, I think. But so far, I'm doing okay. It is far from perfect, let me tell you. There is holes and there's bits missing. But I just was like, you know something, just persevere. Do this one. Maybe the other sock. It's only ever going to be me that's wearing them. But I like the colour of this. I bought this, it's from a local knit shop, Finkel Yarns. So I just bought everything there. But yeah, pretty cool, huh? So yeah, I'll finish that off, and then I'll have to find a day when I can sit and concentrate to do the complicated bit. And other than that, I've been doing, I don't know if I've ever mentioned, I've been crocheting. I'm doing like some granny squares. I tried crocheting last year. I made a couple of scarves. I managed to teach myself. I've done some granny squares. So I'm making a big blanket. Again, I'm not a big, I think I'll make this, and then I don't think I'll probably do anything else. I'm not a huge fan of it. But yeah, so I'm making a blanket. So a whole bunch of granny squares. So I've got these colours here. Got that. So I've got a bunch of them. And then I'm onto these blues. And I've got another kind of blue to do. So I think it's going to be like 3 colours. So yeah, so I'm trying to do 2 a month. And these are great. These are great for doing, see if you're sitting like at work, like if I'm on the PC at home and I'm on a meeting that I'm not actually in and I'm actually just sitting on the meeting, but I can just sit, camera off. So yeah, did handy for that. Something quick just to pick up. But yeah, sorry. That is me then. That's everything I've done this month. Next month is, so next month, working my captive as my focus and my chatelaine as my focus. My whip goal, like I said, are the number's been called, and they're 2 full coverage pieces. So what I'll try and do 1,000 stitches each in those. Bookshelf challenge and full coverage fanatics is Cleopatra, because it's about romance. Gotta be Cleopatra in it. I'm gonna try and finish this, the ripples, finish that side, do another 2 crochet squares, possibly finish that one sock, see how it goes. And then there's also full coverage fanatic weekend. There's a big strides weekend, but that's going to be, and that's my cartographica because it's the biggest one of my pieces, and that's also one of the whipcoats that got cold, so that's quite handy. They both got cold. And that's it. Oh no, really not a lot to tell you. I was off this week because it was my birthday. The big 5-0. We were supposed to be going for lunch. 6 by Nico in Glasgow, which is this lovely little taste menu. It's going to be staying in Glasgow for the night. So I stayed at home and got some cakes and walked the dog. I'm back to work on Monday. It's not too bad. I've got another week off in February because we were going to be going to London. So I've got another week off in February and then a few days off in March. Anyway, plenty of quality stitching time. And yeah, I have actually achieved quite a lot. I'm quite pleased this month. But I'm gonna just add. There's another couple little videos. The wee video I got a piece framed and I was putting it on the wall. So I thought I want to do a couple of finishes that I hadn't talked about, I think, and so I did that about a week or so ago. So I'll add that in. I do apologize. Oh my god, my hair! I just look an absolute state today. But I'm not at the shower or anything. I'm just gonna go out for a run. I've been doing housework, and it was just the sun was quite nice in here just now, so that's why I wanted to do it now. Yeah, so I'm just gonna add this little bit in because it's just about a couple of finishes, and then I'll just a little bit. If anybody's interested, I've got a little bit of my dog, my Rosie, my gorgeous Rosie. So I'll stick it in at the end. And that's it. Otherwise, I will see you all probably into February. Bye-bye. Hi, right. So, as I've explained earlier on, I'm just going to show some little finishes here. Because I suddenly realised I don't think I've actually shown these completed. So, first up, we have, obviously, Temperature Tree by Stitching Mummy. You can buy that on our Etsy store. So I completed this on the 1st of January. And yeah, loving it. And it was quite interesting because you see I've just used the same fabric. This was my Temperature Garden from 2018. Yep, 2018. And then that's 2020. So looking at it, definitely warmer in the beginning, the spring, colder in December. But that was it. Other than that, not much difference. So this is stitched on, it was sparklies. I think it's like slightly summer or slightly spring, I think it is. So my plan is I'm actually going to just get a nice little frame for that, a little wooden frame for that. I think I'm going to put it up in my bedroom because it would look quite nice. Then I'm going to make this into like a little cushion thing. So yeah, so that was that. So it was just I had to iron out today. And I thought, oh, I've never ironed those. I just pushed them away in the cupboards and I hadn't ironed them. And I thought, why don't I just do this just now while I've got the iron out. Sorry, another thing I finished again. I finished this in late December. Was my Through the Window Sal. So this is Ship's Manor. I was racking my brain there to think what it was. Ship's Manor, and this was a turquoise that it came with it. Yeah, and it's just all stitched on DMC. And it's so cute. I love it. It's something just I normally wouldn't do, but yeah. And again, I think I'm just going to get like a really simple black frame, or maybe just a silver frame actually. Maybe not quite as sharp. I'll probably pop it up in here as well. Yeah, so that was December. It took me ages to work out why why I said I had this sudden kind of edge there. And it's only when you start looking away at it and you're like, I'll see what's going on. And while I'm here, I'll show you another couple of pieces that I was just getting out. This is a piece I've had for years and years and years. I finished ages ago. I think it's maybe a Lizzie Kate. I'm not completely 100% sure. I think it was part of an exchange. I think somebody sent you a designed stitch. But I've struggled getting, I was deciding what to do with it. I didn't really want to just frame it. I was maybe going to put it on some canvas and then I couldn't ever find any canvas. But I think that I'm going to maybe just try and find some card and like make it just into, and do some like edgings and things. And then the other piece that is there is, this is, I think it's Derwent Water. And this was in a magazine. I think you can maybe buy this kit. There are various other ones that you can buy as kits. I think this was just called Sunset or something. But I absolutely love it. And it was like from 2005 or something like that, some magazine. And I stitched it a few years ago. I don't quite know why. I think we used a big bit of linen. I've obviously decided I wasn't ever going to use this for anything else because it's very small. And decided that. But I think my plan had been to put this in the bathroom. So again, I'm actually going to like measure these up and have a look to see if I can get some frames and actually do something with these rather than them just sitting in a pile. Well, they're not in a pile, they're on a nice hanger. So yes, that's that. Bear with me too. Okay, and this was the other piece I picked up, as you see, from the frame. I'm really hoping it isn't going to glare too much. Oh, that's not too bad. Yeah, that's not too bad. It's obviously my Mirabilia. Sorry, I'm trying to get all in here. My Mirabilia Maidens of the Season Winter. Yep. So those are glare lights. Yeah. So it's just framed. It's just a kind of brown matte, and then this is a kind of silver, copper, goldy frame. It's the same as I've got for my spring. And the plan was I would just get some. When I originally picked spring or summer's up, I had picked some quite neutral. I knew it would go with all 4 colours. So when I took it back to the frame, I was like, I wanted the same as the other one. Find me the whatever frame that was. So I think this year I'm going to try and get autumn. No, I'm going to go for spring. I'll get spring and autumn here. Here's my, is that spring? Spring. I've got spring there and I've got autumn, which I showed not that long ago. So I'm going to try and get one of those framed this year. Oh, this is such a flattering angle. But how many chins does one have? Yeah, so that's just, I can now put those away. I thought if I put them away, they'll never come back out again. So, yeah, back to the regular channel. Okay, so this is me down my local park, which is Roselle. And this is my Rosie. And this is what we do all day long. And we kick the ball, and then we kick it some more. And you'll see how absolutely pathetic I am. Right, I'm going to try it this time. And then in here, I don't know if you can see, we got the Gruffalo. So the Gruffalo hides in the woods. Oh, right, she's wanting me to play. And that's what I do for an hour. She just, right, try this. Hey, and again, and again, and again. Right. And as you see, I'm pathetic at kicking a ball. But she doesn't mind.